Testing. Okay, I should be back. Yeah, looks good. Okay, where was I? Yeah, this function. Do I put all of this in there? I could call it a hero ping. I'm not sure. Let's call it ping entities. What does this ping function do again? Where am I? Okay, this is the wrong one. Entities. Oh, come on. Don't do this. Ping. Yeah, this should be like this. Ping all. It's called ping entities. And then I'll take this code. Actually, let's call it hero ping. Hero ping. Well, that's self-explanatory. Maybe give it the distance. D. Call, well, calls the ping, well, pings all acting entities in radius D. Collect targets, and then for all the entities nearby, actually yes, let's call this R. hero position, hero entities layer 0, 3. Oh, this is sorting. Yeah, no sorting. 3 different roles. And then if there's an entity there, well, rather get the entity. And if it's linked, I don't need this. Should I ping the ground? I think so. And this was in the entity and the position. And the position is in the return table of this function. And same here. Then I need this exported. To see entities here. And that should do it. Yeah, so this might delete the entity. So let's say if the entity is not removed, well, actually, this is kind of tricky. I might ping the ground first. I think that's better. Okay, this should conclude the proximity signal. Okay, weird that that's not the, this is the return table of the entity by function. And L is undeclared. That should be the hero. Yeah. Oh, didn't read it. Should return function returning void. Where's the return here? That's the ghosts. Let's just return there or break. Yeah, break. Yeah. NPC. Unused P. Was it P? think so. Okay. Let's do the bump signal. Not sure if this is even used anywhere. Doesn't seem like it. And that can just go. Then the live signal. Yeah, this is distinct from creation. Because the signal is sent when it's in the world. Yeah, and that's just the NPCs. And it's also just the mimics. Take on the appearance of the RF objects. An RF object. Wow, that's weird. Yeah, that's just here. That could just be called here. And there's also... Oh, that's not... Yeah, this is it. Can just put this here. And that's it. Entity mimics. Oh, okay, it's not tied to the mimics. Let's just do it here. I mean, I will never find this code down here again. But it's better than having a whole signal just for this. Come on. I could put this in the new entity function. Let's move this first. It's in the object.c. Here the initialized entity is called. Here it might actually be better here. Yeah, that's better. Oh, actually, I mean, it was called here. Yeah, let's move it again. Vims 6 and then live here. That was its original place. Okay, getting close to the end here. Low health warning. And that if the entity panics, then it starts to flee by setting its contingency plan to the flee routine. Or something like that. The words are in flux. So in low health, that's the only one here. Let's see what it's called. In here. Yeah, and that's in the damage function. So if the health drops below 30%, it sends a low health signal. But I'll make this a function. One entity maybe. EP. And don't need these braces. One entity. Is the other stuff above? What was it? Use entity? Nope, it's below. So let's just put this here. One entity. And this can be static, I think. Entity responds to low health. To health dropping below threshold. Struct entity and vector 2 of integers position. And this was just this. Yeah. That's about it. So the NPC signal handler is also gone. And that leaves these, which is pretty cool. And the damage. Let's just see if there are any errors, and this position, excuse me, this position is unused for now. It might get used later. And and the last one was the damaged signal, and that is used for the VATs. So let's look at the attacked and add the static void entity damaged. And I can... Well, I need to add... I need the entity and the position, at least, I think. Yeah. And the value. Is there something special in the signal? Signal struct? Nope. And entity response, that's singular, to be having been damaged. Yeah, that's fine, I think. And I need the... So this is an element. But let's just do it the proper way. And ask for the role as well. So I have to test both of these because the hierarchy is such that so I have these roles which are more important or higher ranked than the types, and the types, the enums repeat between the roles, so that's why I have to check both of them. At least I think that's the reason. I haven't looked at these quite a while because they're just working. Case, this is the vat. And the vat needs these variables because it's quite complicated, it seems. And then this, why does this return? I think that's just return integer. I think that's just convention. Because it's either for signaling that a turn should take place. Well, that's only for heroes actually. And I cannot think of a reason why this vat thing should return an integer. So let's remove this. That's also gone. Damage signal is gone, which leaves me with these two, which I will let alone. Which I'll leave as is, because I haven't touched those in a really long time. And I don't want to start now. So entity damaged. Entity position. That's it. Oh, and the value, which is not used. But let's just keep it in here. Yeah, I think that should just work. Did I write this wrong? Oh, it's just far below. That makes sense. Okay. This concludes the tangent. But let's see if the game still works. Because those were a lot of changes. What is the horse doing? Hello? Why are you blinking? Uh-oh. Didn't mean to do that. Okay, I think I broke some things. Is this guy following me or not? So he's attacking me, but is it just that slow? Not sure. Okay, this looks pretty abandoned. Yeah, that's definitely following me. So that's good. Let's go into the test room. That works. Oh, don't have a shield. I mean, looks good to me. If I hide, yeah, I do double damage. And I burn, etc. Looks good. Let's check this in as. So let me write these down for my log. to find a good place for this book on my desk. This was remove unnecessary. God, is this how you write this? That's how I write this. Remove unnecessary signal and convert necessary signal handlers to function calls. Good. So back to being corroded by maggots, which means I need durability, which means items have default durability, which is done. Weapon value, weapon durability decreases when the hero uses the weapon. Have that. I think I have that for armor. Decrease armor durability. Yeah. I've not tested this. Item. I should add a message here. Else. Durability just for debugging purposes. And then show a warning if the weapon has low durability. So this may be tied in with this. Show the current weapon in the HUD. And I have something. Well, I had something. But that's gone, I guess. Have weapon equipped. Turns pointer to equip item. Yeah. Okay, I can use this. I have the arrows. If the item is not null, actually I can just, well, Well, this is a bit fiddly. because all I have are these calculations. They are strange because the render character functions is bad. Oh, maybe I should fix this. I mean, it's not bad, but it's different from the normal. It puts the characters at a different place as if I had used the render string function. Let's look at this versus this. Actually, this. Position. Why is Z set? What? So these are just vertices for the character sprite, which are 6, which are 3. No, it's 2 triangles, each with 3 vertices. And this is the position. But I'm not sure why this Z value is set. Because otherwise they are the same. I know that all the hearts in the UI are rendered with characters. I can just see what happens. Yeah, should remove that. That was in game. This as well for now. And the hearts are still there. Okay, that's actually the worst outcome. Toshu, is syntax highlighting bloat? That's actually a funny question. No, it's just that the VI doesn't have syntax highlighting. And I found that I don't need it. And it's just one less thing to care about. Do I center them maybe? Oh, they are centered. Great. Why are they centered? Let's remove this. Wait, 0, else. Okay, those were just two ways of rendering. I don't think I need the N. This can... Hello. This can go. Does this still build? Nope. It uses N. Oh, here. I'm stupid. So let's remove the centering. Not sure I have that in the first place. It actually made more problems than it solved. Okay, where are the hearts? Okay, they are now, I think, where they should be. So I can move them back, which is 0.5. What is this? Oops. Did I lose 0.5? I think so. Okay, they have the correct Y, not X. 2.5. Oh, that's also weird. 1.5. Yeah. Why then is this number? What am I doing here? X plus equals, okay, this starts with a, yeah, X is minus equals character width, because this adds one character width before it starts, I think. So that should be, what is this? It should be the same now. Okay, that's good. So, what was I really doing? I was rendering the weapon. Let's look at it again. I can put that over the 0 is the turn counter, which I maybe don't need. But it's nice having something going up. So let's just copy this and say, okay, it's 1 up. Oh my god, this is so beautiful. 1, 2, 3. It's almost like it makes sense. Okay, this gone. The weapon name is objects, the item object index and the name. This is a string, oops, string color. It's fine, I guess. Maybe let's make it something more exciting. Maybe let's make it my colors. What is this? Yeah, let's make it this color. That is violet 1. For some reason, I should change that in the future. It's just yeah, I changed something in the palette and then this color was wrong. How long have you been working on this game? Are you asking me? Because you're talking with Torshu. But yeah, I've been working on this game for... It's been 1.5 years. But really just one year. Yeah. Because it was... oh, no worries. So yeah, it started out as a game similar to Delver. Not sure if you know that, if you know the game Delver. That's a pixel art FPS dungeon crawler. And at one point I realized that there's just no way I can finish this game in any reasonable amount of time, and so I switched to a roguelike with much simpler graphics, and more importantly, no physics engine. Because yeah, I mean, I had the physics running, but that had taken me, I think, a month, 3 to 4 weeks, and then I realized, oh my god, there's just no way to make an FPS game by yourself. With the amount of content that I wanted. So the axe is now displayed, which is pretty cool. I see that the durability goes down, which is pretty brutal. I might need to make this a float. Was the FPS attempt also engine free? Yeah. It's actually the same engine. It's just that I changed the perspective. But yeah. And I ripped out the physics. They are still somewhere in my repo, but yeah, it's basically the same engine. I just changed the game. I just moved the camera up and that was it, basically. Okay, that's a crash. Make core. Apparently your video dropped on Torshu's recommendations. Oh, that's nice. Nice to see new people see the game. I mean, yeah, YouTube algorithm does what it does. Sometimes it's really good, and other times, yeah. But I mean, I've been doing this for 4 weeks, so I'm not expecting anything big. But that's cool if it gets some reach. So it crashed in update blocks. That sounds really bad. Let's see, that's an ancient function. Delete buffers. That's even worse. I mean, it crashed when I entered the game, so that's not that bad. From the editor, because that's much more complicated than just starting the game. But this is still concerning. But might also be that I've not cleanly rebuilt the game. Well, I'll keep that in mind. And I'll keep an eye on that. Okay, so show the current weapon. Oh yeah, I need to add the fists. So weapon equipped, if this all fails, then return... Oh, I don't have a name. I don't have an item that's called fists. So if you're not equipped with a weapon, of course you're boxing and punching, but I don't have an item. And I don't want to create one, because it's not an item, it's attached to the hero. And it can't be traded or something. So I need to use another function here. You don't link your GitHub in any of your socials or website. You mean for the game code? Because that's not public. And I don't have a GitHub. That's the reason. Weapon equipped. Stat. So I need weapon name here or something. Actually, I just need to do this myself. I need an I. And that's it. From this file. So I go through the inventory of the hero. If it's not equipped, then continue. So this looks crazy, but it's just look at the type of the item. If it's one of these, then render that. Great, it's a double break. Let's make it different. If one of this thing, and then that's 5. That looks hella ugly, but it should work. So if the item type is one of these, then render the name and break, else call it fists. I think that should work. So this goes, this goes. These are the arrow. Yeah, okay. Are you a C programmer in your day job as well? Because this seems like a brave undertaking. No. If I was A6412, if I was a C programmer in my day job, I'd certainly not be coding C all night. At least I don't think so. But I really do like C. So yeah, but I've been programming C for a long time. Item may be used uninitialized. That's because it's, oh god. We have item? Yeah. Let's pull this out. Item is hero inventory items index. Item is on items object index type thing, and that should work. Okay. And let's unequip this, and it's not fists. Wait. That's because there won't be anything equipped. Was I thinking about this wrong the whole time? Yeah, I was. I was thinking about this wrong the whole time. Okay, so let's go back. This will be fast. Item.c. So I need the equipped weapon if the equipped item is null. Well, let's do it like this. Is not null. Then render this, else render this. Is that not enough? Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Hero entity. Unused I. Okay, let's see. X. And if I unequip the X, it's fists. And I can still punch people. Yes. Okay, that's what I wanted. Now for the show current weapon, yes, show warning. If weapon has low durability. How do I do that? I could just print a message, but I'm not sure if I want the text messages in the game at all. Let's look at this again. So if I use the weapon, I have this debug message that tells me the durability, but I want to show this on the X. I'll just put it right there. Name and then maybe in parentheses the item durability and the, oh god, and the original durability. I mean, that's how Diablo 2 does it, I think, if I remember correctly. Okay, why is it? Did I not build the game? Don't think so. X5050. I mean, it's pretty lame. And it's kind of kind of annoying. Yeah, I know what to do. Let's undo this. Hey Piper, how's it going? I have a shaking effect for the hearts. I think, at least. Oh yeah, there it is. What is this? Oh, that's for arrows. No, what is this? Oh, that's just something. But which one do I pick? I think this one. So fists don't vibrate. Let's add this. That's a shake. So this is just some cooked up formula for a 2D vector that vibrates. This apt is the app time. That's the second since start. And this is just the offset, which I can add here to the position of the text of the weapon. And I only want to shake oh, let's not do that. If the item durability, what was this with 30% somewhere? Was here, wasn't it? No. Did you arrive at this approach to game dev with Handmade Hero? I watched Handmade Hero when it began. What was it, 9 or 10 years ago? And I took some approaches, yeah. So well, what I took from Handmade Hero is that you can do this all by yourself. That's the main thing. But how I do things is more from OpenBSD, from the OpenBSD code base. I took more from that than from Handmade Hero. But the inspiration and the what do you call it? The can't think of the word, but the idea to even approach it like this came from Handmade Hero, sure. If the duration, I want the 30% thing. What was that? It was in the low health warning. Where am I? Here, game 1. Oh, come on. 1 entity. There it is. And I can just reuse this. I think. So this is the original health minus the health point damage. So that's item, the original duration minus the I can just leave this and just say item duration divided by the original duration. And if that's less than, let's say 20 or something, then set the shake. Otherwise it should be initialized to 0. Where am I? Here. 20%. Okay, let's give the X less durability. Let's make it 10. And entity, that's the hero. Do not have the... Yeah, that's not cur, that's the compatible types. Oh, makes sense. That is a vector to F. Anything else? No. Let's see if this works. It should start at... Didn't start. Classic. Let's just have it shake all the time. And it shakes. Don't know if you can see it on stream. It's pretty subtle. Should maybe be more extreme. Let's take this one. Oh, that was the one. That one does nothing. Oh, that's tied to the timer. Okay, that's just the same thing with extra steps. Let's try it this way. Okay, that's a bit more aggressive. It's kind of flickering. At least at my end. Not sure what that is. But it's very subtle. So if the item, let's say it's at 20 and the original was 50, then I have 0.6, which is 60%. If it's less than, let's say less than 50, maybe that'll work. Oh, this is of course, yeah, that's just stupid. It's the item, not the hero. Hero doesn't have durability. Okay. Okay, it's 5 and it starts shaking. Should maybe change the color. Make it yellow or something. It's a good color. Yeah, this maybe. That may be too extreme. It should pulse or something. But I don't want to get too involved with this right now. Let's just make it shake stronger. And let's make this, don't know, let's try 3. See what happens. Yeah, that's much more noticeable. Okay. Show warning. Actually, int. Oh, it's not item. See, not int. Break item. Let's remove the message. This one. So there's still a message when it breaks, but not all the time. Okay, show durability hint in inventory. Actually, let's commit this first. What was it? It was, I think it's actually just yeah, it was just the HUD. Add current weapon HUD. God, what am I doing? Font game 10 node object. Show durability hint in inventory. How can I do this? I mean, theoretically, I need all this space between the X and the 5 cents for enchantments. I could put it in the second row. I mean, this whole interface will probably change. I mean, it will certainly will change. I could put the durability in the bottom right. Item render inventory stack count item value description. Oh, description is, yeah, that's specific to the selected item. That's fine. Let's make this a bit easier. Inventory items, inventory cursor, And then this is item object index description. And I want format 20. That is width. Okay. I need rather this x minus y. Let's also make it gray. And this is the item durability divided by, well, I could put a percentage here. That might actually be the easiest. The easiest thing to do. And then what is it? 0.0? What was it? Or was it 0 dot? I think it was 0. Well, actually, I want this to be an integer. Because this is 0 point something times 100. And then, oh, do I need to cast this? And then I only have this and percent. No idea how my percent sign works in the font. Yeah, this is wrong. And this is y plus 20 times character width. Not 20, but this is at most 4. 16 maybe. Let's see what happens. Nothing. Did I not build again? No, I did build. Let's check if it's an error with the rendering order, but I don't think so. Nope. What is happening? If the description is not null, that's a problem. But not here. But generally. So maybe this is just bad. Oh, of course it's bad. This is why. I need to move the X cursor. Plus 16 times character width. Please work. Okay, there's 100. Sorry. But why is it 16? And it's not enough. Okay, so the width is What is the width? 32. Let's try 28. Actually, yeah. And why is the percent sign not showing? Okay, let's make it 26. And let's look at the percent sign. Where should it be? That's the question. Percent sign is the decimal, please. Oh yeah, second row is decimal, 32. My index is at the very bottom left. What is it? 37. Yeah, here it is. So why is it not rendering? I have to escape this. Oh, I might have to escape. That would make sense. No. Why do I have to put 2 of them? I vaguely remember that somewhere. Oh, that's it. So that's actually just printf and scanf stuff. 2% signs for 1, so that's okay. Works, I guess. Let's hit something, and it's it's 0, of course. Great. Yeah, that's... Oh god. I'm casting a value that is 0 to 1 to an integer, so that's stupid. I need to cast all of this to an integer. $100. Oops, that was fists. 90. 60. 30. No, it didn't make it. $20. 10. X broke fists. Wow. Works. Nice. Good. Next one. Make durability reset. The weapon is leveled up. God. Oh god. That is... So the way you level up in this game is using, I'm not sure if you've heard of Rogue, the roguelike game, but it's pretty similar to that one, in that you use basically potions. Well, in Brogue it's scrolls of enchanting, I think they're called, or something like that. And with those you level up your weapons. So there's no experience points planned at this stage. I'm still flirting with them. But basically, you find these, in my game, you find these oils and you can apply them to your weapons, and the weapons level up. And you can also apply the oil to your armor, etc., etc. Yeah, and the question is, right now I have objects in different variations. So if you look at this knife, there's a normal knife, and then a knife +1, +2, +3. So if you put oil on this knife, it would turn into this object. The benefit of duplicating basically the same object with just higher level is that I can set all the properties of the items here. So somewhere here is attack rating value in gold and defense rating, colors, I can change the sprite, etc., etc. But it's also 3 times the work. I could just have this knife objects, throw away the 3 others and give it a level integer that scales attack rating, value, etc. Depending on the level of the item. And I'm still not sure about which is better. I like that you can see all the permutations of the items. That's actually a plus. I could make it so that swords only have 2 upgrade stages, for example, for whatever reason. And it would be visible. But it's also, well, I'm not sure. Well, yeah, I think it's the best solution. The other benefit is that well, that's not really contingent on the item level. But I can pretty easily say here, okay, this sword turns into object ID 24, which is sword +1, and 36 is the next one, which is sword +2, etc., etc., which is in itself not that crazy. But what if I apply the oil to a vase? What happens? Well, I can just put any object in here and it would turn into that object. So having these individually, these upgrade variants individually here in the object table decouples them from the application of the oil. So anything can have oil applied and turn into something different. So for example, if you have a letter, you can, I mean, oils are pretty expensive. They are what you use to level up, but you could apply the oil to a letter and the letter turns into a book and the book has special meaning or something. Or you could use bad food, turn it into good food. You could maybe even put it on NPCs, turn them into something different. There are crazy amounts of secrets that you could place with that system. So yeah, that's just a small overview of the upgrade system. And there are more upgrade paths to progression than just item upgrades. But this is pretty important. So the upgrading the weapon should reset the durability. Yeah, I should just do this. Have you seen Caves of Cod? I have seen Caves of Cod and I watched a couple of videos, let's plays, but I've never played it. Have you? Are you a Caves of Cod fan? I just distinctly remember that one video on YouTube about it. Caves of Cod goated. Also Dwarf Fortress. Yeah, I've played my fair share of Dwarf Fortress. That's also pretty amazing. Make durability reset if the weapon is leveled up. Okay, so that requires me to look into my crafting code. Actually, it's not craft, it's... It is apply... Yeah, apply thing to item. Apply. Oh, that's the mode. Okay. Thank God. Thought I lost that. Caves of... Too much... You mean Dwarf Fortress? Tried it, it was too much for me. Too much going on to convey with such a minimal visual style. There's definitely a lot going on in Dwarf Fortress. Item... Enchant something. Yes. Give me the... This is this, okay. And then I want... Inventory action. Apply item. It tries to apply item object index onto item IT. Okay. Okay, so well, it's called oil of life right now, but let's just call it oil. Oil of, yeah, let's remove this. Oil of sleep. This is actually something else now. What do I call this? I think it's a potion. Oil of potion. Oil of death. Yeah, that's going to the unused. I mean, okay, there's another oil down there somewhere. I'm not sure what to call this. I've always just called it oil in my concepts. Let's just call it fine oil. It's in an oil flask. This is fine oil. So if I apply this, so this RF is the reference field in the objects. Let's look at the knife again. This one, which references always the next object. If that's 0, then return. Else, just set it to this. Okay, that's fun. It just switches the object ID of the old knife. Oh, and that's the to-do. Item durability is the original durability. And the hero let's give the hero the oil. The hero has an X, so that should work. Fine. Oil, that's 52. Okay, I have the X, I have the oil. Let's chop a bit. Oh, yeah. Why does the durability look like that? Should be 0. Or is this dividing by 0? This might actually be dividing by 0. That's an emergency. I'll have to fix that. Render inventory. If item if the original durability is greater than 0. Better. So let's hack something. I'm at 60. Let's apply the oil. I'm at 100. It's an X plus 1. I should be able to. I don't think I have the attack rating increased. So that's sad. Let's get a legend down there. Attack rating. Oh, I have. What? These soldiers so strong. Let's try that again. Hitting them for 1. And hitting them for 1 if they don't block. Do I have to increase this? 3, 5. Oops. Almost. Okay, that's still 1. Not using the weapon attack rating would be really dumb. Resolve. What is it? Attack? Yeah. Actually, that's not it. Well, the attack rating of the attack. Let's go into hero attack. Yeah. Hero attack with item. I mean, passes in the item, which is an X. And then if item is not null, add to the attack rating. Do I set the attack rating down there? Oh yeah, of course I do. Great. Okay. Same with critical, maybe? No. So now I can reduce the ratings again. So, what was it? 1, 2, 3, 4. And 3 damage. Wow, that's actually pretty powerful. What's he doing? 1. Alright. Next one done. Destroy and remove weapon if durability is 0. I have that. Show message. I have that. Create functional loot table that picks on death. Split current. Make containers sometimes drop low level weapons and armor. Oh yeah, so this has to be... now that weapons break, you need new ones. So I'll have to add them. Alright, I'll take a short break. I'll be back in a few minutes. I think my router crapped out earlier and I lost internet. I mean, I just lost upload, which is weird. Create a functional loot table that picks on death. I had that earlier. Where was that? When an entity dies. Actually, let's move these. Died. Oh, was it? Oh, I put it all in the kill entity function. That's right. And the loot was down here. Big item. Oh, this is pretty involved. Maybe I can do it in 2 hours. Shouldn't be too bad. So the problem is, right now I have loot tables. Well, there's just 1 or 2 items in them for each entity. Wait a second. Oh yeah, this is new. Maybe I'm thinking this wrong. So originally I had it that, so every entity has an inventory, and originally when the entity was created, it got some items from the loot tables and walked around with them until you clubbed it to death and looted it. But I have removed the looting, which means you don't step over a dead entity, be it a let's say it's a, well, I'm going through all the entities in my head and they are all in flux, so this is quite the exercise. But something's dead, you step over it and then you hit X, because I'm using a PlayStation controller. If you hit X, it opens the inventory and you can take what you want. That was what it was originally. Right now it is simpler. That is right here. When the entity dies, it just picks from the loot table an object and transforms the dead entity into that object. So it basically drops an item. The body is gone. Implications are many, but this is for now how it works. This shouldn't impact. What I'm doing now should not impact if I want to switch back to looting entities, because inventories are still there and are still filled, I think, maybe. That's also not a problem. What is a problem is that I need to place items along the path because this is a linear game. I need to ensure that certain items are available at certain times. And I can't do that if I decide the loot when you start the game or when an entity is spawned in. That's just too... It's just not concrete enough. What I really want is when the entity dies, I call this function. The function looks at the hero, at the world, and says, okay, the hero right now needs this. Just for the flow of the game. And or just because that's an area where this thing drops. And think of an amulet that's super rare that drops from any enemy, but only in a specific region. That would be a huge pain. I mean, it would be possible as well, but it's much easier to just decide in the moment what is dropped as loot. And yeah, so these 3 to-dos tie in with that. Create a functional loot table, which means it's not a table, it's just a function. And split the current loot table into functional and hand added loot. What did I mean with hand added in identity? Why would I need that? I wouldn't need this if I have this. So I think that's just me thinking wrong. So hand added means I give the entity an item when it's created, specifically, not via the loot table. But that's handled by this function. Split the current loot table into functional loot. Create a loot function that picks a drop on death. Put current table into it. I think that's what I meant. They make containers sometimes drop low-level weapons and armor. And that's pretty straightforward. I mean, what this hinges on is this LT, which means loot table. That's a number that every entity has. If it's 0, then it doesn't drop anything. So if I give containers a loot table, they should behave exactly the same as all the others. And what I mean by containers is not containers, but obstacles, like a crate. There are still containers in the game, like chests that you loot normally, as you would in any other game. So that's not completely gone. This loot table, This would also go. Remove the object loot table and place it with just a switch statement. In entity, in kill entity, don't drop loot if function returns. What does it return? So pick item is picking from the loot table. I might just reuse this because the loot tables will be gone. And then I can just use this and the object index instead. Then I can remove this, and that's it. Okay, that's already solved. Move LT. Let's remove LT. Or should I first? If I remove LT, then things break all over the place. But that's actually what I want, but maybe not at first. Let's look at the loot table. So this is the loot table. This is the object this entry belongs to, and this one is default, 2 is a hunter, and hunter drops bread. There's not even drop chances or anything in here. And it's not that long. And the loot screen, pick item, fills item with a random pick from loot table or returns 0. Provision inventory with loot table items. So this is gone. But I can keep it for now. Well, then I also would need to keep this. Well, would I? Opens loot screen. Update looting. Okay, that's it. So this is pretty I think pretty simple. Let's move this down. pick item. So what this does is just it counts how many items there are in the table, then it picks one randomly, and it gets the object ID of the picked item, and then it creates a new one and fills that into the pointer that's passed in. But what I want is have the object index here. And have a massive switch statement. For, sorry, for all of these. Where am I? Yeah. Case 1, case 2, case 3, case 4, and oh wait, they are all, yeah, they are real indices into the loot table. Oh, what are these? LTS, LTI, not in here. What? Here. Number of loot tables. Okay, those are gone as well. This is default. And 6 to 5. Oh, I need the animals. Oh god. I forgot about that. Actually, I think I need the loot tables. Why the hell? I need these weapons. To drop. I could just make, let's circle back here. What did I touch? And oops. And the entities thing. Isn't it like that? I think so. It was greater than. What? I'm confused. But if that's the only change, let's nuke that file as well. If loot table is greater than 0, return. Isn't that completely wrong? Whatever. So what I really need is these obstacles. And I could just make it random for now. So I need the loot tables because loot tables are what is it? One to many? Yeah, so I need to group entities together when it comes to loot. Or do I actually... God, this is one of these decisions. Where you have too little information. And usually, if that's the case, you don't do anything. Or at least I don't. Just continue elsewhere until I have more information. Maybe I just need to figure out how to do this with the current system. So I can, in the loot table, I can simply make a new one, call it crate. And then I have the axe in here. And the sword. Well, maybe the spear. Shield. But that will pick every time. I'm actually not sure why I was so afraid of the functional table. The loot function. Because if I have animals, I mean it has the same restriction as the loot tables now. Which means there's only one loot table per entity. Difference is, of course, that with a function, I can't really add more tables for an entity. For example, if the hunter should have this table as well. But in the loot tables I could maybe if I combine both of them, I make the tables here generic. So this one would be food. Then I make a function where each object gets its chance to choose from these three. In that function I could also set the chance for something to drop. That would actually make this work. And then I can say in the crate, see, look, if the hero has a weapon, if they don't have, excuse me, if they don't have a weapon, then increase the chance for a weapon to drop. For example, I might also not do that, but I need the ability to do that. Or I can say, okay, every 300 turns drop a health potion. Something like that, just for pacing. But I think that would actually solve this. So I make these generic. I remove the loot variable, and in this pick function well, this one I actually leave, but in a different one I switch on all the entities. I think that's what I'll do. This makes this more complicated, but also still pretty simple for what it can do. So I can say default is, well, a gold piece? No, that's too... Willow, you can put herbs in here. Recipes, oils. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. So let's find a good function name. I have already used a drop item for dropping an item on the floor. Maybe have loot entity here. Pick loot. Oh wow, that's dangerous. It looks exactly like item. Loot item. That's good. Returns. Fills item with a random drop I or returns 0. So this time switch will hopefully stick. And here I put, oh come on, can't write. I put every object that has a loot table entry. So what? That's not a loot table. This is a case 338. Six, 4, 5. 6, 2, 6. And 170. One. And they all had 1. Yeah. So let's note this here. Oh, come on. And that's 613. What was 201? Serpent. They both have 11. Yeah, undead limb doesn't drop anything. 6, 8. Scorpion. That's a 1. They don't drop anything. Really only need the important ones. 6, 6, 5, 3. And that's 11. Yeah. Also 11. Two. Four, 8, 4. Six to 9. In the end. Has 9. Oh, sure. 13. Frog and old fisher. I mean, I can just, yeah. Those are not important. So for each of these, we want to call this with the loot table. One. Okay. Okay, so this should be the same. Loot item. Not the best name. But yeah, better than nothing. Let's make this static. Loot item. Okay. Let's see if they still drop something. Yep. And now for the crate. Make obstacles sometimes drop stuff. Okay. Actually, let's make it. Oh, come on. Great. It's 55. Where the... Okay. Great coffin vase. Part 1. And the bushes as well. Maybe. These at least. Well, I can leave it at that for now. Just to not complicate this. Well, the problem is... I should have this in every region. Might as well make it right. Weeds, okay, they are too strong. And this. Grass. Brush. Twigs. Twigs, weeds. Six, 4 nettles. And that's it. So in all of these, there may be a weapon. Actually need the object again. An object table, X. Then 603. Forty is the spear. No, it's a bow. 49. Shield. 50 is the tunic. And yeah, that's gear. Okay, so if, well, maybe 1 in 50 or something. Let's go to the cellar. Why are they so hard to break? Oh, this will kill my weapon. And it broke. Oh, it broke a long time ago. Oh, when did it? Hope these are crates. Hello, where's my loot? Crate. Need just 1 drop. Do I still have the loot table thing? Big check. In the entity. Great. I can chop up as many crates as I want with that line of code there. Let's make a clean build, because why not? Yeah, sure. The editor. Where was that? The seller. Might actually have to be for every entity. I drop a weapon. But actually, I mean, fighting with fists is just fine. Of course not against. But there's no way to upgrade fist fighting. And I think that's okay. Because there are enemies. I mean, the corrosion of the items is way too fast. I'll tone that down. Maybe I'll make the durability tick only happen half the time. That might already make it better. Or every third time something. Make it more variable. Hello, can you please drop a weapon? Okay, let's turn let's turn this down to 1 in 3. Actually, these should drop them as well. I think. Oh yeah, that one did drop. Right, I died. Yeah, there's something here. Shield. Oh, why can't I? Why did it unequip my axe? That's stupid. Yeah, blocking works. Oh, I only have shield now. Potion of cure. Alright. So this works. Then let's put it at, no idea, 20. And the item break item. minus random 0 1. No. If random 0 in 3 and it's excuse me, it's not 1, then return 0. So only every third time on average duration will decrease. And that should work. Something like that. So, and I have this. Okay, so now for the actual task. The actual task. I need maggots. And let's maybe pick something that's unused. Let's take this sheep, turn it into a maggot. Well, actually, I like the sheeps. So let's leave them in. Yeah, let's just make one from this raptor. 657. It's an NPC. Talent color. Sprite and color, I'll look at that. I mean, that's all. It's all okay. Let's make a sprite. I wouldn't want this. Yeah, it should be a front perspective thing, which might make this really hard to draw. I mean, if you can call this drawing, of course. Well, that might just be it. I mean, if it's called maggot and you look at this. That's a bit nastier. Maybe the other way around. Should be the same way as the other creatures. Let's try this one. So that's 360. And the color. Maybe this. Let's make it brown 0. And let's place something. I mean, it looks more like a slug. Yeah, that's not. Nope. Yeah, that's better. And the behavior. Let's make them. I have this in some state or form. What is it called? Clouds. Leaves gas cloud behind after moving. So let's just say case whatever it was, make it clouds 1. The ID was 6 5 7. Let's see what happens. Oh, it works. It works. Do they? Not sure why they're blinking. Oh. Okay, they do go away. I'm not sure. Cloud. And then if I set the render type to 0, then it should only be particle effects. Yeah. Oh, that's scary. That's really hard to see. Oh, there's the crash again. That's too hard to see. Maybe just a darker green. Let's have it take on a tile of the ground. Not like this. Oh, that's just the color. It also didn't work. What's this one called? What is the... Is it... It's not a cloud. It is. I'm not sure what's going on here. Maybe another green. I mean, one was pretty extreme. Well, actually, it's not that bad. Let's just keep it like that for now. What I still need is this here. Make trail, decrease the durability of equipped items. I could make this a debuff, but that's, yeah, that's not good. What I can make instead So this poisons the hero. This is the step on, tread on entity. So if the hero steps on the cloud, corrodes hero. If the entity on top of this tile is not a hero, and break. Else, and let's look in the item file. Let's pull this out. That's the hero inventory. So for all items in the hero inventory, if the item is not equipped, then continue. Else break. That's crazy. Let's make it every 3 ticks. Well, actually, let's make it every time. Every tick. Don't need this, but I need a message. Oh, I mean, I don't want to say your gear corroded. I want to say metal is corroding in that vein. Passive. Because that's in line what I have. So Metal. Let's make two of them. Metal. Becomes brittle. And this also only sometimes. And maybe something with leather. Turns weak. Something like this. Make 100 90 80. There should maybe be. I need to set the hero green timer. Yeah, I think that's plenty. All right. Fixed and fixed. Durability and this. Okay, this was a really big one. The rest of these should be pretty simple. But yeah, I won't start them today. I'll push this and then I'll call it a day. I think. So make maggot trails corrode the heroes. Equip heroes gear. Function. Game item. Oops. Okay. Okay, what's indeed to do? Okay, that's old. So, push. -1 day. Did all these. This is also -1 day. That's fine. So yeah, actually I'm on track. Haven't moved a goalpost since I started. Just rearranged them. Okay, that's done. Let's add this to the website. Okay, let's do it from memory. Add weapon degradation and armor. Well, actually, it's not much else. Add corroding maggots, trails. That's actually it. Should I still add this streamed on Twitch? Because I forget it all the time. Today's the 4th, right? I mean, it was, yeah. I think that's it. Yeah. All right, that's it from me for today. I'll be back maybe tomorrow or the day after. So thanks for tuning in and for watching the YouTubes. I appreciate y'all, and I'll see you next time. All right, bye.